So here's the thing, right off the dome. Lecrae is now collaborating with secular hip-hop artists, swearing in the same song. I want to talk about something right now. So Lecrae is collaborating with secular artists. Okay, so that's not new. That's not news. That's not something that's new. We all know about that. We know that he always collaborated with different musicians out there. I just caught up with the video made by David Levick. You guys should check him out. He's got a YouTube channel. He covers all aspects of Christian hip-hop, or especially everything that's going on about Christian hip-hop. And he was talking about how Lecrae's gotten into this new direction where he's collaborating with different artists, and secular artists particularly, which is not new, which we all know Lecrae to be doing something like that. That's what he does. Is, Reach Records is aimed at reaching out to those who are lost, those who need the gospel and everything, which is great, which I think is great. I really don't have a problem with that. I've never really seen a problem with Lecrae and what he does as far as his stance on Christianity and what he feels his mission is about, reaching out to the Christian, not reaching out to the Christian, but reaching out to the unchurched, using the hip-hop platform, because he sees himself as a child of hip-hop, and I think that's great. Just as Paul, God used Paul to reach out to the Gentiles. I think God uses us in different ways, and I think if it's going to take somebody to reach out to those who are in the hip-hop community, it will definitely take somebody that understands hip-hop and is a child of hip-hop, and it comes from a certain background where a lot of people might find him to be easy to relate with, so with that said, I'm all for that ministry, get out there, let's be the light in the world and everything. So I've never had a problem with Lecrae before and what he does. But David made a video about how Lecrae is now collaborating with secular hip-hop artists, swearing in the same song. Of course, I don't think Lecrae is swearing. I haven't heard any of the songs or any of the albums or anything. This is just news to me, so I just thought I should give you what I think about that. Because I first of all, I have two perspectives about that. One is positive, the other one is negative. Which is a little difficult, I have to say. First off, I'm all about if I'm collaborating with anybody, because I'm more in the film production side. If I'm going to make a film and I collaborate with anybody, on a collaboration basis, we can work together and we can collaborate with each other. But you have to play by my rules. You know what I mean? When I say play by my rules, you need to play my game my way, because I want to disciple people. And, we're here to transform the world. We need to transform and win souls for God. Being that I'm somebody who's in the film industry, I try and work with a lot of people, or I come across a lot of people that I work with. It makes sense that you come across people who are unbelievers, or people who may not necessarily display the same type of qualities that you might portray. But when it comes to doing anything, if it's a film or it's a song or whatever it might be, obviously the end product has to be in favor or favorable to my beliefs, my core principles and beliefs, which of course are guided by my faith and my beliefs. So at the end of the day, it's about God. Is He pleased with the end result and the product? Does it support um, my core principles and my beliefs, and does it coincide with what I truly believe to be what God desires at the end of the day. So with regards to that, that's why I used to love Lecrae and him collaborating with different artists out there. And when they come over, they're playing by his rules. You know what I mean? I don't know how to better say it, to say play by his rules or by my rules. It's just my way of saying it. But I just thought that people enjoy listening to music, and you're clear of swearing or talking about certain things in a bad way, whether it's a misogynistic view or talking about women, calling them all kinds of names, and this explicit this and that, the F words and whatever. I mean, people enjoy listening to CHH or Christians who are making music without having to resort to cheap and lame gimmicks like cursing and your usual innuendos and and all of that stuff. It's like a gush of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? So with Lecrae collaborating with these different artists and they're swearing and everything, and this is part of all of that. I get what he's trying to do, but my take on that is that, so first of all, from a discipling point of view, like in my daily basis, I know a lot of people who are not believers, and sometimes they might swear around me or whatever, but I want to be around them so that I can be able to influence them and so on. So I don't see how it will be any different, or it should be any different when it comes to music as well, or when it comes to anything that I'm doing, so long as, of course, I keep it 100. I keep it 100 with them. I have a talk with them every now and then, because right now they're living in their own world, and that's their world, and that's how they talk. And if you want to take on the world or sin for what it is, then you have to understand that that's just how people are. That's how the world is, and you have to be prepared to deal with that, and be prepared to speak with them in a way that they understand that they don't have to be fake with you. They're only going to stop doing that when they truly accept the gospel, when they truly see the light, when they see that, okay, that's not really the way I was living, isn't really cool, of course, and swearing isn't all that cool and whatever. But that's just not going to happen while they are living in their own world. So I understand that aspect. I mean, because if I persecute him, if I say, okay, Lecrae's wrong for doing this because he's now collaborating with guys and they're swearing and he's in the same track and whatever, just because of that, then that would be a little hypocritical, or it wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? So I understand it from that aspect. There shouldn't be a difference. But my only concern comes in where it gets a little tricky, because once you put something out there, and as a musician or as an artist, you're collaborating with other artists, and they start talking about different sorts of things, and the end product embodies certain aspects that are not Christian, and they're not the type of things that I would want my kids, or I don't have kids, but like kids. I teach Sunday school, and I try to influence a lot of teenagers to stay away from the secular hip hop, and the filth that comes with that. And I try to encourage them to listen to Lecrae, but now that worries me. Now, if I tell them to follow Lecrae and they start listening to these songs and some of the artists that he's collaborating with, and they start swearing and things like that, then that kind of puts me in a position where I'm not at ease about that, because then I feel like I'm dragging them to the same place that I'm trying to remove them from at the same time. So while at the same time I understand Lecrae's stance on that, I'm just concerned that it just feels like there's a bit of it's counterproductive, and it's contradictory in a way. Like it contradicts your mission. Well, not his mission to reach out to them. It just kind of contradicts, the Christian perspective of it. I don't know if that actually makes sense to you, but it's just, I don't know. I'm caught up in a really hard place right now, whereby I kind of understand what he's doing on the one hand, but I just think that maybe it's just not wise. That's my view. I just think maybe it's not a wise decision on his part to do that. I think I like the way that he was doing it before, and I think he should keep it that way, because it's just much safer to keep it real. That's just my view on that. You know, collaborate with people, but you know, they don't have to swear, they don't have to, you know, talk about all kinds of weird, nasty things and so on, because as a person, I believe you're a brand, and you know, Lecrae is a brand, and he needs to be careful how he what he does with that brand. But that's just my feeling about this. I don't know about you guys, but let's pray about it. Let's pray for the brother, and I hope everything works out all in the end. And shout out to David Levick out there. You're making great videos out there. Christian hip hop needs to be known. All right, thanks guys. And I don't know, you tell me what you think. You can give me your view about it. Leave a comment and like. I don't know if I should say you should subscribe, because I don't really make videos that much often, but you know, do as you please. All right, God bless. Peace.